Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat mga kaibigan. Kami po ay narito ngayon sa Sisak na kung saan ang lugar na ito ay isang maburol at mapunong lugar. Kasama ko ngayon ang isang kabataan na kung saan ay bibigyan diin natin kung paano nga ba magkaroon ng ambisyon sa buhay sa kabila ng lahat. Okay, I have with me today is Kirobel. And Kirobel, could you please tell me about yourself or introduce yourself to us?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very happy. So my name is Kirobel and I am from Ethiopia. And yes, I am from Addis, the capital, and I was born and I lived there. And because of my master's program, I then moved to Norway, where I lived for about 3 years and a half to do my master's in international community health. So that happened from 2016 August up until recently, 2020 January. So I moved to Basel to do my PhD in biomedical ethics.
Okay.
So now I am in Basel and I'm studying public health related stuff, or I'm doing research on that, and that is about elderly care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Okay.
that's me.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Your background is a bit interesting. So we would like to know more
you.
about Kirobel today because at his age he is young, but this man has a lot of dreams in life. And I want to know, Kirobel, before coming in, before that time.
Wow! Before coming to Switzerland,
Or in Europe first.
or in Europe.
Yeah.
So like living in Norway, for example,
Okay. Your home
Or-
country?
or my home country, Ethiopia,
Oh,
or living in Ethiopia.
yeah.
Yeah. So to begin with my family, I am the youngest in the family, and I have 4 siblings, 1 sister and 3 brothers. And when I begin there in my family, then I say my family is a family where education is seen as an idol,
Really?
so to speak.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
we value education so much, and my parents, my siblings, so that's why I am very much interested in studying. I love to study. I love to study, and sometimes friends and colleagues ask me, what do you think of studying up until PhD or postdoc? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Is it? And then I say, I know it is painful, but I enjoy that pain. So yeah, I'm kind of I'm ambitious, and when it comes to my education, I really like to study. So I am that kind of person, and I am sort of dedicated as well to the things I really like. So that's
Yeah, that's great because not all people, not all youth or young men like you interested in pursuing studies. Others prefer to go in some other stuff in life, doing things which are not essential. Okay, I want to know, during your high school, do you have high school in your country? Like,
yeah.
are you a what do you call this? A type of student who always on top of among the class?
Not like that. I used to be. I think when I was in grade 4, 5, I used to be that kind of person, that kind of student. But my grades used to kind of fluctuate. Some years I do good, some years I do bad. But during high school, I was not a good, like, I was an average student.
Okay.
So, but when I joined university, I was like, okay, now is the time. I have to work hard now, right? Because during my high school, I was taking courses or subjects that I do not like. For instance, I don't like maths. I hate numbers. I mean, I really hate them. But yeah, it's fine. Right? So because of that, I was not that much comfortable. But when I joined university, it was a subject, a field of study that I really want. It was social work. I did social work during my bachelor's. So it was a subject that I really wanted. I enjoyed it. So my grades were fine.
But I know that there's always something like something or circumstance or a family or a friends. Where do you get your motivation to be in love in studying?
That's a good question. First of all, God is my motivation. I really I'm happy because I have someone supernatural to turn my face to, right? When I have challenges, when I have difficulties. Of course, God is my motivation, and studying the Word of God makes you wise. That's what the Word says, right? Yeah. So it brightens your mind. It makes you wise. It gives you wisdom. Even it gives wisdom to children, right? That's what it says. So that is my first motivation and inspiration. But besides that, as I said, I have my family.
Your family,
my parents, my brothers and my sister. They like education, they like study, so they encourage me a lot. And yeah.
Is this part of the culture in Ethiopia? Like people must have a degree, a bachelor, or
Yes. I mean, when we see the percentage of literacy, I don't think Ethiopia is in a good position generally. I'm not sure. So we have illiterate people, of course, but people in the cities, especially, believe that studying is kind of a life and death situation, right? You have to study.
But for what reason that some are not going to school? Is it financial problem or
yeah, we have a saying in Amharic, in my mother tongue, and we say የበላና የተማረ ወድቆ አይወድቅም. So loosely translated, that means someone who eats well and someone who studies, who has good education, will not fall, or if that is a good word, but not that one. I should think of some other words.
Okay, while you're thinking,
someone who studies will survive, kind of.
Yeah. Same culture in the Philippines, because we do believe, me personally, because I was a working student during my college, then I do believe as well that if you have a right education, then surely you will land in a good job.
Exactly. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I was trying to say. So you get something at the end of the day. Your life will not be spoiled.
Will not be the same anymore.
Yeah. You achieve something. You get something. At least you have a job, because you can do some other stuff. You can get into the business without education.
Yeah.
But in case you don't, you don't get the profits you aimed for, and then at the end of the day, if you have your degrees, then you can switch, go to the job market and then apply and then get something.
And that's the advantage of a person who has a degree, because even if not quickly as you got the job, but still you have this what they call this
backup plan B.
Plan B.
Exactly. Yes.
At least time will come that I can have a good job because of my degree or my profession. So okay, from Ethiopia then you went to Norway. So what brings you to Norway? Okay.
It was to do my masters. I applied. because I moved to Norway in 2016 to do my master's, right? But before that, in 2015 summer, I traveled to Norway to attend a 6-week summer school to study gender equality in the Nordic countries.
Gender equality.
Gender equality. Because I
in
was
what year? In what year?
2015.
Ah,
2015.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, go.
Yeah. So during that time, I used to work in Akaki Kaliti Warada Zatang Warada 9. Now I'm mixing. So I used to work in the Women and Children Affairs office. So during that time, I applied for this course. This course in gender equality in the Nordic countries, because I worked during that time. I was working as a gender officer, and that was very relevant for my profession or for my work. So I applied, and then I stayed there for 6 weeks in Norway. It was summertime, very beautiful, green country. So I met some Ethiopian friends who encouraged me to apply for the 2-year master's program in international community
But
health.
before that, can you tell me the background? Is it easy for you to go to Norway, considering that Norway is one of the best countries
Countries,
in
yeah.
Europe
Yeah, in the world.
and the best country
Yeah.
to live in?
Yeah.
So, is it easy for an Ethiopian to move like me? Because it's not easy for me. From Philippines going to Europe, it's not easy for me.
Yeah,
I'm lucky
imagine,
enough
yeah.
because I'm married to a Swiss woman. That's
Yeah.
why I'm here in Europe,
Yeah,
particularly here in Switzerland. But in your case, it's not easy. Is it easy for you, or do you have struggles?
Yeah, it's not easy, definitely. Especially when you think of when you think of me being someone who lived with his parents, within a family context, and for me, I mean, as someone who loves, I mean, everybody loves his country, I hope. So as someone who loves Ethiopia, who loves his country, it was not easy for me to move. And during that time, I remember I was crying a lot because
Being
I
away
was
from the
leaving
family.
I was leaving my parents. I was leaving my friends,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
siblings, my community, my church community. That was a really hard time for me. But of course, that was a new opportunity. Moving to Norway, it's a beautiful country, and above all, I was there to study. I was achieving my dream because when I was in my last year of my undergraduate program, I decided to myself, okay, now I'm done here. Like, I'm done studying in Ethiopia. So I want to take my master's somewhere else, better. So that's why. So now this opportunity is here, right? And it was my dream. So I was very happy, but on the other side, I was also sad. It was not easy. And living in Norway was also both exciting and challenging.
Okay, I'm excited. What is it that makes
Challenging,
or
yes.
challenging?
Yes. The one thing and the most important thing here is culture, because
You have to adjust.
I have to adjust. And in my opinion, Norway and Ethiopia are two extreme countries when it comes to culture. You have no idea.
In economy, in everything.
In economy, in
Environment.
culture, environment. It's like moving to another planet.
To
be honest.
I feel
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same when I came here.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
moving to a different planet. And I was like, wow, because people think in a different way, and
In a fast-paced environment.
yeah, and everything. I mean, to give you specific examples, like people are very sharp when it comes to time.
Yeah.
People are very punctual. I mean,
Punctual, yeah,
right?
punctuality.
Yeah, punctuality,
It's
and
important.
it's important. Yeah, and almost everybody is trustworthy, reliable. I mean, you don't feel like you will be deceived, or you don't feel like you will be. Do you know what I mean? I mean, people are trustworthy, and everybody is concerned with his or her own life, and nobody wants to get into your life. And there's a very big gap between people, and that's kind of very exciting.
But you never experience any discrimination, never.
No.
No, and that's
No.
great. That's
No,
great.
I was very happy. No.
And I'm also grateful here in Europe, here in
Mm.
Switzerland, because people don't judge you from where you are from,
Yeah.
what country you came from,
Yeah.
and the way you dress up or the way you talk. It's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good for you. Good for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Then in Norway, you have your masters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I did my masters.
Mm-mm.
It was in international community health, as I said, and my research was on tuberculosis in Ethiopia.
Oh, at least you are giving back
Exactly.
the service to your country.
Exactly. So it was on TB, and I was traveling a few times. I traveled a few times to Ethiopia to collect data, but not only to collect data there, but also to visit, because I moved to Norway in August 2016, right? So after 7 or 8 months, then I went back to Ethiopia to celebrate Easter in Ethiopia. I was so homesick, and I remember how painful it was for me to spend those 8 consecutive months in Norway, because I really missed Ethiopia, and I really missed my friends, my family, so I got convinced that I had to move. I had to at least visit my family, my friends.
So how long you took your masters in Norway? 2 years?
2 years.
2
It was
years.
a 2 years program. Yeah, and after that I stayed there for one more year, because I wanted to apply for a PhD there.
Okay, PhD. Let's
Yeah,
go
to continue.
to continue your ambition.
Ambition.
To achieve your
Yeah.
goal, your dream in life.
Yeah.
Then after masters, then here we are. You're
Yeah.
taking up another stage or level of your studies. So PhD, can you tell me about your
About the
PhD?
program.
About the program.
So the program is it's in biomedical ethics.
What is that?
Biomedical ethics. It's kind of a bit fancy-ish program, because it brings ethics and biomedicine, or ethics and medicine, together. So the idea is to understand the ethical issues, ethical questions that revolve around medicine. It could be treatment of people. It could be it could even be about nature, and how nature and
Professionalism of the doctors and like it's
professions, yes, and it's also about research and how we do research on nature, animals, with people, and I mean ethical issues on that. I mean, are they ethical, right? For instance, when you go to a developing country and then do your research, what are you doing? Are you using money to buy research subjects? You know, that kinds of questions.
Same with my profession in accountancy or being an accountant. There's also ethics to observe as well on how you do the process and everything, if you are following the standard. So same with you. So is it easy, or is it challenging, or is it hard?
For me specifically, now I am I'm going to do research on elderly care and ethical issues that revolve around the care of older people in Ethiopia. So that is both challenging and exciting. And the exciting part is there is lack of research on that area in Ethiopia, because let alone ethical issues, there is no well-established elderly care in Ethiopia.
Oh,
So,
so you have to start from the scratch.
exactly.
No
that is-
records and everything.
Yeah.
No studies.
Yeah, no studies.
existing that you have to follow. You have
Yeah.
to improve, but you have to
Yeah.
start from the very scratch.
yeah, I have to start from the scratch, and that is both exciting and challenging. So it's exciting because it's something new, and you're
Okay.
discovering, you're exploring something new. Of course, there are very few studies
Mhm.
which are conducted generally on aging or on elderly care. Like,
Okay.
yeah, they just pick a couple of institution-based elderly care and institutions or centers, and then they just do some studies, of course. But when it comes to this ethical aspect, like the real ethics, it is not well studied. So I'm starting from the scratch, and that is also challenging because you know, sometimes you want to read something, you want to have like a base, what is happening, what has been done, and when you read that and then there is nothing, and you'd be like, whoops, right, wow. So that's kind of challenging.
So,
and
What kind of qualification does a person can do that? More on research. What you need to have as a person to do that?
what kind of qualification I need,
Oh.
or what kind of expertise I need?
Expertise you have.
Most importantly, it is research, knowing research methodology. That's extremely important because when you do PhD, you're becoming a researcher.
Yeah.
That means you need to have research skills. It could be writing, right? It could be analyzing. It could be those methodologies, qualitative, quantitative.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm taking the qualitative approach. So for me, I have experience on that. I used that same
Okay.
methodology as part of my masters. So that's fine. So you need research skills and you need communication skills.
Yeah, because you're good in English.
Oh,
yeah, your
thank
English
you.
is good than
Thank you.
but English is a second language in your country.
It is not a language in my country.
Where did you learn
Just kidding.
that, brother?
It is in Ethiopia. We have
Subject.
yeah, we have English subjects from grade first or from kindergarten, I think. So yes, people do not speak much English in Ethiopia, but if you go to the big cities, of course they speak and
Okay.
they try to speak. If you are a foreigner and ask questions in English, ask for help, then people they just try to, because people try to help. I mean,
Okay.
they just like to help,
Nice.
so they try.
Okay.
But when it comes to the remote areas, then you don't hear people speaking English.
Okay.
So, but in my case, my mother played a great role because she is she studied English language and literature at the University of Addis Ababa. So because of that, I got a chance to learn English from her and
Yeah.
from my father and my sister as well. My sister also studied English language and literature. So in our family, English is kind of
It's a part of the family. It's a part of the
family, so-
communication. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. In Norway, then here we go. You are already taking a PhD, and PhD is give me a bit background how you got this opportunity.
Yeah,
Because
how,
I
yeah,
sense that you
yeah.
always have a struggle before you got what you
Yeah.
want in life.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Getting a this PhD was not easy because the process is first I applied for a funding program or a funding opportunity called Swiss School of Public Health Plus program. So that program took funding from the EU, Marie Curie funding. I don't know if you know that. So they took from that. They took from that, and they advertised PhD positions or PhD funding positions, sort of. So I applied for that, and then they got me around they gave me around 60, 70% of what I would need to complete
In
the
the
whole.
remaining,
Yeah.
in the remaining, a big
The
portion.
remaining. So they work in collaboration with 8 Swiss universities.
Mhm.
The University of Geneva, University of Basel, Zurich, Lausanne,
Lesson.
Yeah.
Oo.
and some other universities. So the next step was for me to find a main supervisor from one of those universities who not only supervises me but also gives or covers that part of funding, that the remaining 30 or 40% funding. So my first choice was Geneva, University of Geneva, because Geneva is kind of an international city,
Yeah.
and the University of Geneva has a good reputation. So I wanted to study there. So I contacted a few professors, and they told me that they wanted to support to be my supervisor, but they don't have the money to co-fund my project.
Wait, before you continue, I want to know how you deal frustration, because you ask, then it's not
They say
enough,
no.
then you ask again. It seems that you were rejected that time.
Yeah. of
Yeah.
course.
So how do you handle that?
That's a good question. This is here is the best benefit of being a Christian.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, here is the best benefit of someone who believes in God, in someone who believes that God loves him or her, because I had trust in God, and I knew, I mean, if it happens, then it happens. And if it doesn't happen, then it's not the end of the world, right?
That's a good mentality.
that is
Your
the
mindset.
mentality I have.
You
Yeah.
have a
So
positive, optimistic, very optimistic person.
thank you so much. Yeah, so I try to be. So that is, yeah. If I can, I mean, the good or the very important thing here is you have to make sure that you are doing what is expected of you.
Yes, that's
Right?
True.
Yeah. So I make sure that I do what is expected of me, and then after that, once I am 100% sure that I have done all the things expected of me, then the rest I give it to God. If
Nice.
it happens,
You inspired me
or not.
this time. This afternoon. It's
it's
afternoon.
very cold,
here.
but it looks morning.
I think it's morning. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, yeah, I tried a lot. I tried what I could to achieve this. I've come this far, right? Then, if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. I'm not going to die. It's not going to be the end of the world.
You know,
so
for our viewers, because sometimes some people would stop dreaming, would stop believing, would stop taking another step because of frustration. But with your experience,
yeah,
I like the word that you said. I would not die if I would not get that one.
I don't die. Come on, it's just a PhD.
Then you got that.
Yeah.
So,
Finally,
finally.
I continued, but this doesn't mean that I wasn't worried. I was worried. I get worried sometimes because I am a human being, right? I have a human heart. So
Human heart.
human heart. So sometimes I get worried, but also I don't like to dwell on that.
I like
right?
that. I like
yes,
that.
so I just get worried.
Oh, I have
But-
to dwell the bad situation.
Yes, and I use my worry for good, because I use my worry as an opportunity to try something else, right? So when I get frustrated, then I don't dwell and I don't remain there and hurt myself. But what I do is, okay, I have to wake up and I have to try more. I have to try harder.
Plan B.
Plan B.
Yeah,
Right.
Plan B.
So yeah, the next. So that is how I used those hard times. So you can turn a challenge into an opportunity.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge, but I turned it into an opportunity to ask someone else.
You've learned that before,
then I
or you heard
conducted-
that phrases like turning challenges into an opportunity, or you learn it with your experience?
Of course, I learned it with my. I've seen that. I've experienced that.
Yeah, that's
so,
good.
Yeah, there was a challenge,
Uh.
and then I turn those challenges to opportunities.
Good.
So,
That's
yeah.
great. That's great.
Yeah, I've seen that in my
So
life.
what school you chosen?
Yeah. Next, then
Mm-hmm.
I went for the University of Basel,
Mm-hmm.
and Basel is a very beautiful city.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, and it's impressive because
Mm-hmm.
you go to Germany. You know the city Weil am Rhein. You just go to Germany within 15 minutes or 20 minutes,
You're-
and this is like crazy. What? I'm using the city card, the city transport card, and I go to Germany, and then buy my things, and then come back in peace. This is
In peace.
this is unbelievable. And you can go to, of course, you may need to pay extra, but you can also go to France, right? So
Yeah.
it's very exciting. So anyway,
Mm-mm.
that's the fun part. But I contacted a professor
Mm-mm.
who works as a head of that department, who
Mhm.
works at the Institute for Biomedical Ethics.
Mm-mm.
So when I contacted her, she was positive about it.
Mhm.
Yes, I can supervise you, but do you have the money?
Nice.
And I was like, I have, but it's not everything. It's not the whole thing I have. So I have around 60%,
Mm-mm.
and if you could cover me the remaining, and that would be awesome. And she was like, okay, fine, let's go for it.
Answered prayer.
Exactly.
Answered prayer.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So I'm very happy about that.
And now you are how many months?
No, I just started 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks. So
Mm.
it has not been a month since I moved.
Sorry. Sorry.
I'm just starting, and these days I'm just writing. I'm reading a lot
Okay.
to understand ethics,
Mhm.
medical ethics,
Mhm.
because I don't have that. I don't have the background. I studied social work and
Mhm.
public health.
Mm-mm.
Of course, I took some ethics-related courses, but
Mm.
that does not mean that it is
Mm.
enough for
Mhm.
me to pursue something in biomedical real ethics.
Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
I'm reading, and
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. So now let's talk about the word ambition. And the title of our discussion today is Be Ambitious. The word ambitious is a negative word in the context
Yeah.
or what should I say is like in our modern time, if I would say you're ambitious, then it has a negative impact or definition. For you, how do you define the word ambition or being ambitious?
For me, being ambitious is being someone who wants to do things beyond his or her capacity,
Mm-mm.
or someone who wants to accomplish
Mm-mm.
many things.
Mm-mm.
Being ambitious can be seen both positively and negatively, as you said. Of course,
Yeah,
it has
good.
a negative image,
Mm-mm.
but it has also a positive image, because people, or I should not say people, but let's say organizations
Mm-mm.
or universities,
Mm-mm.
or yeah. So when they hire you,
Mm-mm.
when you apply for a job,
Mm-mm.
then one of the requirements is being ambitious. Sometimes,
Yeah. During the
They like-
interview,
yeah.
during the interview,
Yeah, they
I had
ask
been
you.
asked that question as well.
right?
Are you ambitious? Then if you're not familiar with the word, then what is that? Why you ask me like that?
Yeah. So
okay,
they
go
just
ahead.
ask you whether you are an ambitious person or not. So being ambitious can be both challenging and a
Mhm.
good thing,
Mm-mm.
because you're ambitious means you want to accomplish things,
Mm-hmm.
great things, high things, right? So, but it is also challenging if you don't know how to control it.
Yeah, I like the word how to control.
How to control
Oh,
it, yes. Because, for instance, you have ambitions to do different things, like you want to study. Let's say my case, I want to study. I want to my project is on elderly care, right? Let's say I plan to open a couple of elderly care centers in Addis Ababa within 2 years. This is so ambitious.
Yeah, because
Right?
not realistic,
Not realistic
measurable.
sometimes. So this is the negative side of being ambitious.
Okay.
So I have to study. I have to. I plan to open this center, and I also want to travel to different countries and discover the world. And I want to get married. And you know, all these plans come at the same time, and I call myself, Kirobel, you are so ambitious.
But you are referring for yourself being ambitious in a good way.
In a good way. That is actually it is very important that one is ambitious if one wants to do good in life.
Yeah, to achieve
You need to
something.
have ambition. Yes. And the right word here could be being over ambitious, because that takes you to the negative side of being ambitious. Because if you are over ambitious, then that means that's crazy. So, but being ambitious is being someone who wants to accomplish great things, and that's positive. Being someone, for instance, in my life, I'm kind of a bit ambitious person. I have plans, and sometimes my friends even laugh at me when it comes to very little day-to-day things. Then I say, okay, I want to do this until the coming days.
There's a deadline.
Yeah, there's a
time
deadline.
frame.
Time frame. And
Important.
sometimes I get ambitious and I plan to do things which could not be done within that time frame. So that is kind of a good thing if I accomplish it, if I do it. And there is one more thing I'd like to say here, and that is the skill of prioritizing, or
prioritizing things.
So prioritization is extremely important for an ambitious person, because when you are ambitious, as I said, you feel that you can do many things at the same time. But it is important to give priority. So if you're ambitious, then you need to have the skill to prioritize. Otherwise, another option is what we call multitasking. That means being a person who can do different things at a time, different tasks. Okay, I have this. There are people who are amazing when it comes to multitasking. They can do 100 things at a time. They have studies, they have their marriage, they discover the world, they have business, they have
travel. They travel as well in everything.
Yes, so for that, I mean, that is the skill of multitasking, and if you're that kind of person, it's awesome. But it can also kill you.
True.
It kills you.
Because you could no longer have time for yourself or taking care of your good health.
Yeah.
And for me, is being ambitious at not the expense of other people is quite good, because some other people would have ambition that hurts other people. You believe so? They hurt other people, like in an organization, like I want this position, then I have to work hard for it. Then I don't care if I step in the other colleagues at the office. So that's a wrong motive of ambition or being ambitious.
That's true.
So, okay, I really admire you for being a young man, have all these things in life. It seems that you have a good prioritization of
Mm.
what you have, what you want to achieve in life, then this is a general question, and I don't know if because mostly of us should or must have a particular inspiration in life.
Mhm.
Do you think getting into what we want to achieve in life, do you think a woman can be more, will give us more inspiration?
Yeah.
Something like that. What I mean, having a relationship while having this ambition in life.
Yeah. Accomplishing the things you want to
Oo.
to accomplish.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Is it a tough question?
it is not.
Okay.
It is not. It's kind of tricky because it depends.
It depends.
It depends
Why?
the type
Okay.
of the
Uh-uh.
person. Because if we are talking about getting married, right?
Mm-mm.
Then if you are married, that means you are living with that person
Mm-mm.
as you are living with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you two are going to be one. So that means
Mm-mm.
that person should be able to support
Mm-mm.
you,
Mm-mm.
to support you in your ambitions, in the things you're interested in.
Mm-mm.
Of course, you need to support that person as well.
Mm-mm.
So something is expected of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you expect something,
Mm-mm.
right? So when it comes to your question,
Mhm.
your specific question,
Mm-hmm.
it depends on the woman, on the person.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, in my case,
Mm-mm.
someone that could help me achieve my dream
Ah, okay.
would be
Mm-mm.
someone who is compatible, someone
Mm-mm.
who
Mm-hmm.
who understands what I do,
Mhm.
someone probably who wants to do
Mm-hmm.
or to participate in the things I do,
Yeah. Mm.
and generally someone who truly
Mm-mm.
believes that I am doing the right thing for myself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
So that's why a woman, or in my case, since we are men,
Mm-hmm.
a woman
Mhm.
or your wife
Mhm.
could be an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
She could help you,
Mm-hmm.
or it could also be the other way around.
Yeah. Could be a
It
hindrance.
it could be a hindrance.
Yeah.
She could drag you back,
Yeah.
and you will
A
not be
cause
able to
of
achieve.
frustration,
A cause of frustration,
disappointment.
disappointment. You cannot give enough time for the things you do, you know,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your ambitions, and that can be quite challenging. So. Yeah,
So
I'm not saying this from my experience, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. It's a general, okay, a
So,
general
yeah.
question as well. At least you have a good impression about also having someone, but that someone must be compatible.
Must be compatible.
Be
That's
compatible
good.
with you. And that's
Yeah.
great because it's really hard to get someone. It's not you are opposing each other. Then
Yeah.
you're
If you have very different interests, you like to travel and she likes to sit, for example. That doesn't work.
Yeah. You love to read, but he doesn't like to
She
read.
likes to, or at least, it's not a must that she likes the things you do. It's
Okay.
not a must,
Yeah.
but at least
a support.
it's good. Yeah, it's good.
support.
She doesn't hate it.
I like
least.
that. Or she remains
least.
quiet of
At
that.
least she remains quiet, right?
Because
So-
if there's something about it, then that is
Yeah.
not-
So, but it is really good if she likes it.
Yeah.
If she truly likes it, right?
Mm.
If she truly likes what you do from the bottom of her heart, like even if she could consider it as something she wishes to do, right? Let's say traveling. You like to travel, and she doesn't like to travel. That's not good.
That's good.
But you like to travel, and she wishes to travel. She likes to travel,
Yeah.
if she gets, she would do it if she gets an opportunity to do it.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yes, yeah.
she may not be as passionate as you are, but at least she understands it and she wishes to do it. You know what I mean?
Or,
So, yeah.
otherwise, she would say, okay, do not go without me because I'm not going. You have to stay at home.
It's a mess.
And
That
that's
will be a mess.
crazy. And that's
That would be a
crazy.
mess. So,
Okay.
but that is, I think many marriages work fine with two people who have different interests, different. I'm just saying, I wish that kind of married life would be nice, but that's just a wish. But when you see the reality, it's really amazing. Like two people with different interests, different ambitions,
Two minds.
two minds, right? So they just live together, and it feels
I
crazy.
want you to
mean,
experience that. I want you to experience it.
I died. I died.
But do you see yourself being
In that kind of a
in that
relationship.
in 5 years from now or 10 years from now, or it's too long?
To get married, you mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get married soon.
Yeah, because you're going to
feel- yeah.
finish your PhD, and what's
So-
next?
Yeah, no, because PhD is like work.
Yeah.
So I consider myself as not as someone who is studying, but as someone who is working,
Yeah.
who's doing research. So I don't think my PhD would be a constraint to go to a married life. So yeah, I can do
And
it
great.
soon.
And
Maybe I can get married tomorrow.
tomorrow, sure, a lot of girls here with your skills, with your talent, with your
Come on,
education.
seriously.
Yeah, because nowadays, some women are looking at that. They have to scrutinize the profile of a person or what the accomplishment of this guy, of this person, because they need it, because they want a good life as well. Only crazy people would marry a person who has capacity to become a good man in the family. So your plans, you are in the right track, in short. So study first, finish first, then afterwards get married. And that's the ultimate thing, I guess. While you're waiting for the second coming, then you have kids. And I must be there. And it must be here in
Yes.
Europe or in Switzerland, so that
We'll
Esther
see.
and I will be there.
We'll see.
I can do the hosting, or the host being the MC of the wedding. Okay, we're going far away from our discussion. Okay. To wrap up this talk that we have this afternoon, what should I say tips you can give to those people who are not taking life seriously, or how could you, or how are you able to influence them, or at least give them an idea to have ambition in life?
Okay.
You're not counseling them, you're giving your advice.
Yeah. Being ambitious in life in a positive way is a really good thing, because it helps you develop or strengthen your skills. So as human beings, we like to grow, to develop,
Yeah, true.
to challenge ourselves. So when you have ambitions in life, that means you challenge yourself, because ambitious plans cost you. They cost your time, they need your effort, they need your energy, maybe your money, everything, right? So the more you give, the more you earn. The more you give your time, and then the more you develop. You get skills, you get you can
You
name
learn
them,
a
right?
lot. Yeah,
You
yeah,
learn
yeah,
a lot. You can get
Mhm.
different things. So
Yes.
it is really nice to have ambitions in life in a positive way. So ambitions in life so that we develop. And if we do not challenge ourselves, we do not grow.
And that's true.
Yes, challenge is extremely important
Okay.
if you want to grow.
There are circumstances like, do you believe that being poor or being less fortunate is a hindrance of achieving your goal? What can you say? Because some people
This
would
is
say,
tricky. Yeah.
some people would say, oh, we have no money.
Yeah.
In your case,
Exactly.
you have no money, but
Yes.
where you are now, where
Yeah,
are you now?
yeah,
You're
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So this can be a bit tricky because being poor or poverty in general can be seen as a cause for underdevelopment, for not being a developed person in many ways. You cannot educate yourself, your society. If you're poor, we can see now the poor societies right in this world, the developing world. Those developing worlds are developing because they don't have money.
Yeah, yeah.
They're poor, right? So it can be challenging, and it's true that poverty constrains you, but still, as an individual, and referring to different examples, and myself as well. You are not. No, you are poor does not really mean that you cannot achieve. Yes, right. So even achieving something as being a poor person can mean a lot later on, because it helps you to value the things you earn.
True.
Yes. So when, for instance, let's talk about my PhD now, right? Or my whatever I have now, my program, my study, or so I feel that I have earned this. It's not like I'm given by someone else, but I worked for it,
Work hard for it.
worked hard for it, and now I value it. I know the meaning
Yeah, yeah.
of what I am doing. I know what it means, right? So when you pass through these kinds of challenges, it gives you later on the ability to appreciate what you have and to understand that you have really earned it. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I do believe so.
Yeah.
I do believe so, because like what I've said earlier, that I finished my degree or my bachelor as a working scholar. So I believe as well that poverty or being less fortunate or being poor is a hindrance as long as you have ambition in life. So it's ambition actually, because you have this ambition that drives you
Yeah.
to do such thing.
You can't stop.
And
You just-
another
yeah.
thing, in your case, you have the ambition and with your God. So how important,
Definitely.
how important to have
Yeah.
God while achieving your ambition.
Yeah, it is very important. I mean, God is the story of all. I mean, the story of what I have. I mean, it is because of Him. There is no question in this, because I remember those prayers I prayed years ago. I remember them, and now I see the fruits. And this is really, really awesome. And I'm very, very extremely happy that I have God in my life. A God that loves me so much, regardless of what I am, what I do. And yeah, there's no question in that.
Okay. And that's great. I do believe as well, because without God, I think
Yeah,
nothing will happen in
definitely.
our lives, because we do believe that God has a plan not to harm us but to prosper us.
Yes.
And that's it shows that He really loves us.
Mhm.
Okay, before we end this conversation that we have, the topic that we have about being ambitious, and we've learned from Kiribel that being ambitious in a good way is really a good thing.
Yeah.
It's really a good challenge for each and every one of us to achieve what we want to achieve with the help of God. But before that, do you have some other skills aside from being studious, from being good in research, and having all the stages of your studies from bachelor, then to masters, then to being a PhD? Then do you have some other skills in life? Your interest, some other interest?
I love music.
Oh, music! Girls, music! Yeah, because some, okay, music.
Yeah, I
How about
love
sports?
I love music. I love sport, but when it comes to running, I mean, I'm an Ethiopian, by the way, so
Hey, yeah.
Ethiopians are famous for this, right? For running. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
I
kidding.
remember I met an Ethiopian
Yeah.
in the Philippines. He is a marathoner. He is in the
Exactly.
Philippines. He trained in the Philippines, or I don't know if it's until now he's
Yeah.
has his training in the Philippines. So you
I
love
just
track
run.
and field.
I run. I just run. and the
Esther,
thing
you
is,
can run with this guy. Esther, run fast. So,
great. Yeah. So when I go to the gym, I go to the gym once in a while.
but I
or-
guess I need to go because
To-
look at me now.
I am thin as well, and I'm going to explain why I am this thin. So when I go to the gym, the idea is, you know, to lift some weight.
This is the fun part
And-
of him and mine as well. Okay.
Yeah. So I like, not I like, but I plan to, you know, to lift some weight, and then to have some muscles.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, because as you can see, I am a flat screen. Like,
Same here.
so, but the moment I get
I
there,
learned something from your flat screen. and that's the smart way of saying I'm
say,
thin.
I'm thin. Yes.
Wait. Yesterday I learned the term instead of nagging, suggestion. And now for
Okay.
being thin, a
Flat
flat
screen.
screen.
Yes. We say
Two
that.
words,
Yeah,
two
we say
words.
that in Ethiopia. So.
Okay.
So the moment I get there, I don't know. My eyes go to the what do you call it? The running machine. What do you call it in English? I don't know. The machine that you run on.
Yeah. Okay.
Forget it.
Okay,
Yeah.
forget it.
Forget it. So my
Thread.
eyes go
Okay.
there,
Uh,
and then I get drugged. They just pull me. I love running, so I just end up running for about 30, 40 minutes. And then I get tired, and then I go home without lifting weight.
because that's your interest.
That's my interest.
Yeah, that's your
But
interest.
when I leave home,
Uh,
I promise to myself that I do not run, but I just lift weight and then come back home.
the next time you go
Yeah.
to the gym, then you hit
So-
the gym.
so-
Okay.
Yeah, my friends, some of my friends were telling me, okay, Kiribel, try to stop running. Don't focus on that, on the machine. Just forget it and then lift your weight and then have some muscles. So, yeah. So I like running. But I like music as well.
Yeah, music.
Music,
That's your
yeah.
first love.
Yeah, I love classical music. I love to sing.
You play what organ? Any
I play
instrument?
piano.
Piano.
I don't see myself that much, professional, but I of course I play,
Yeah, yeah,
and
great.
I had an opportunity to teach piano some kids.
Esther, he has the authority, or he has the skills to teach you piano. Okay, let's go for it.
So I used to teach piano, and I like playing piano.
Okay.
So I tried to learn violin by myself, but it was too much work for me. So I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted to focus on my piano and then focus on other things, and I postponed that plan of learning violin. So I like music. I like to sing classical pieces. I'm not that much into those jazz and pop and those worlds. So yeah, I love
Okay.
doing that.
Thank you very much for this opportunity for sharing your life story and the achievement that you have, and also other things in life that you want to achieve more. And I want to see you 5 years from now or 10 years from now having your family
Marry
as
my
well.
family.
Because I can see that you can achieve many things in life because of your being optimistic, and you have a great faith in God, and things will be in the right perspective. So, friends,
much.
thank you. Thank you so much. You want to say thank you to our
Yeah,
viewers?
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know
Can
well
you see their names? Can you read
the names.
the names? We have
Yeah.
to shout
Oh yeah.
out.
Yes, Janet. I see Janet and
Janet from. Okay,
yeah.
Janet.
And this is watching.
Ah, okay, my
Hello,
boss.
Janet.
Janet from
Okay.
Philippines, and the other one.
And I see Lian Say. I'm
Okay,
not
from
sure if
Philippines
it's-
as well. Yeah, the Lance, and the last one.
Lens.
Oh, Lance, my what do you call this? My baby boy.
Wow.
No, he's my ministry
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
He's and his mom is Liance. Okay, thank you, Madam Janet, Liance, and Kuya Lance. And
Thank you so
kung
much.
mayroon pang iba dyan, ayokong scroll down, baka mawala. Okay, thank you sa inyong panunood. Kasama ko siyempre si kaibigang Kirobel from Ethiopia. Mga kaibigan, masarap dito sa bansang ito kasi you will meet different kind of people from different countries in the world. So, ito po yung trabaho ko ngayon dito sa Switzerland sapagkat wala pa akong corporate works. Okay, thank you so much and bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Okay.